Today, we're tackling one of the most misunderstood conversations in business technology, and that is cloud strategy. Specifically, we're going to be breaking down the real differences between public cloud, private cloud, and multi-cloud, and more importantly, how to know which option actually fits for your business. So let's jump in. Hey guys, welcome back to Cloud Sherpa. I'm Derek Roush. If it's your first time here, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that like button, and share this content with anyone that you like or you think that may find this beneficial. Look, every little bit helps us to continue to produce content about business technology and cloud services. So this video today is going to be more geared toward the business owner or the, say, operational leader. And look, if you're an IT professional or maybe an IT admin, this will be for you too, but we're intentionally staying out of the deep technical weeds here today. This conversation is going to be more focused on business impact and, say, operational trade-offs. So let's talk about why cloud conversations can be confusing for business leaders. So often we'll hear business owners or a CIO say something like, "Hey Derek, we're thinking about moving to the cloud," or "We want to move to the cloud," or "move some workloads to the cloud." And of course, that's totally fine until you ask the follow-up question of, which cloud are we talking about? That's when the room suddenly kind of gets silent and you get that dead stare from people. Because the cloud isn't really one single thing. It's actually three different operating models, each with very different pros and cons. And here's really the bigger wrinkle in this conversation. For many years now, the industry has lived under this cloud-first mindset, meaning the default answer to every technology conversation was simply, well, let's just put it in the cloud. But that mindset is changing, and fast. CIOs and business leaders today are now shifting toward a cloud-smart approach instead. Cloud-smart means cloud is no longer the automatic default. It's a tool chosen intentionally when it supports business outcomes, not just because it's the latest trend. Cloud decisions today are being driven by questions like, does this help me reduce operating costs? Will it improve business agility? Does this strengthen our security and compliance? Or does this meaningfully help our team serve customers better? It's no longer about how modern your tech stack looks. It's about whether it delivers real business results. And here's the real problem. Most companies, they don't choose a certain cloud model intentionally. They typically drift into one accidentally. It's a slow roll. One department buys a SaaS tool. Your IT department spins up a few servers in Azure. Compliance may insist on certain workloads staying on local servers. And then your finance slashes your CapEx budget, and voila, you've now created a poorly governed multi-cloud hybrid environment.
You're not a chef.
This isn't cloud strategy, this is technological soup. Understanding your options and intentionally choosing the right cloud strategy is really the only way to operate both efficiently and economically in the cloud. So let's talk about the three options being public cloud, private cloud, and multi-cloud. So let's start with the most common choice being public cloud. That's what most people think of when they hear the word cloud. The market is dominated by platforms like Microsoft Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Oracle, etc. This is where you're using infrastructure and software that lives in professionally managed shared data centers. And then you, as a consumer, pay monthly based on usage. And oftentimes ingress and egress, meaning data transferred in and data transferred out. Now, why some businesses love public cloud is simple. Public cloud is about speed and simplicity. You could scale users instantly, add storage in seconds. There's no major upfront hardware purchases. You get predictable subscription pricing over massive refresh cycles. And there's built-in disaster recovery. And best of all, you usually get constant security updates as well. From a business perspective, it removes a lot of friction. New employees starting tomorrow? No problem. You can create an account in 5 minutes. New location? Great. No servers to deploy, no racks to build, just connect and go. And supporting a hybrid or work from home workforce is way more simplified. Now, there are real downsides to public cloud. For starters, public cloud is easy to overuse. And what I mean by that is cloud is incredibly powerful and incredibly easy to mismanage without strong governance. The technology itself isn't the problem. Visibility is the problem. Costs creep up quietly when nobody monitors consumption. Teams buy overlapping tools without knowing it. And security settings default to wide open unless someone is actively governing configurations. And yes, vendor lock-in is real. Once core systems are wrapped around a single platform, switching becomes painful. Not impossible, but painful.
Ouch, baby. Very ouch.
And this, my friends, is exactly why CIO thinking has changed. Industry leaders now acknowledge that cloud first often turned into cloud careless. Speed took priority over governance. Flexibility came before financial discipline. Now the shift toward cloud smart thinking means every workload must prove business value, not just technical convenience. So what type of business would be a good fit for the public cloud? Well, for one, small and mid-sized businesses, remote and distributed teams, and fast-growing organizations without large IT staffs. And lastly, companies that are prioritizing agility over total control. For many businesses, public cloud is still the fastest path to modernization. But speed must be paired with governance to avoid runaway risk and cost. Now let's talk about private cloud. Private cloud is where, the infrastructure is literally built just for you. We're talking about dedicated hardware with customized security policies where your team has full architectural control. It may run in your own facility or within a managed data center environment. But unlike public cloud, your environment is not shared with other businesses. So why do companies choose private cloud? Well, for one, it offers maximum control and compliance flexibility. The approach tends to work best for companies that are facing, say, heavy regulatory requirements or latency-sensitive workloads. Also, where applications don't play nicely in shared cloud environments, private cloud may be necessary. In a private cloud environment, performance is more predictable. Isolation reduces perceived risk, and compliance teams sleep better at night.
Nighty-night, boys.
Sometimes that alone justifies the cost of entry. Now, there are real downsides to private cloud. For one, private cloud keeps many of the burdens of traditional IT. Hardware still has to be purchased or leased. Scaling takes time. Lifecycle refreshes don't just disappear. And capacity planning remains your responsibility. Private cloud delivers safety and predictability, but at the cost of agility and higher overhead. So who would be a really good fit for private cloud? For one, healthcare organizations. Also, financial services teams. And then thirdly, compliance-heavy environments. And companies running non-cloud ready applications. Now let's talk about multi-cloud. Well, multi-cloud means using multiple cloud platforms simultaneously.
Well, duh.
An example would be a business that has, say, Microsoft 365 for productivity, AWS for development workloads, and maybe Google Cloud for analytics and machine learning. So why do businesses adopt a multi-cloud approach? Well, multi-cloud buys you a lot of flexibility. You could choose the best platform per workload. You can avoid full vendor dependency. You also gain negotiating leverage. And you can improve resilience by spreading risk. Also, you get access to specialized services across ecosystems. So what would be the real downsides to a multi-cloud approach? Well, for one, multi-cloud is where IT complexity goes to college.
Wow, that is really hard.
Billing can become fragmented, security policies can become harder to unify, marketing tools multiply, and engineering teams must master multiple platforms. Without strong governance, multi-cloud becomes sprawl, and sprawl burns money fast. So what type of business would be a good fit for, say, a multi-cloud approach? Well, for one, very large enterprises. Also, tech-forward organizations that maybe have the team that can manage it all. Also, data-intensive businesses. And lastly, teams with mature cloud governance practices. Multi-cloud works best when discipline exists. Without discipline, it becomes chaos dressed in innovation clothing.
Hey, does this suit make me look fat?
No. Your face does.
So how do you actually decide what cloud strategy fits best for your business? CIOs today approach cloud decisions as business decisions first, technology decisions second. They're asking questions like, does it improve my margins? Does it strengthen resilience? Does it accelerate my customer experience? And does it simplify operations for our teams? Because success isn't defined by being the most modern. Success is defined by hitting real business outcomes. So here are some of the questions we typically walk through with clients. Number one, how regulated is your data? Heavily regulated environments lean toward private cloud or tightly governed public platforms. Number two, how fast do you need to scale? Rapid expansion favors public or multi-cloud elasticity. Number three, how strong is your IT bench? Smaller teams benefit from simplified environments. Multi-cloud requires experienced leadership. Number four, how concerned are you about vendor lock-in? If flexibility is critical, multi-cloud becomes more important. Number five, how predictable are your workloads? Steady usage may suit private environments, whereas volatile usage favors public elasticity. And number six, probably the biggest question, do you want to operate IT or consume IT? That one question drives nearly every final decision. So here's the biggest failures that we see when it comes to cloud mistakes. For one, companies don't choose a cloud strategy. They usually collect cloud products. Each department buys tools independently, IT migrates infrastructure, finance chases cost savings without visibility, and compliance puts roadblocks in. No one connects the dots into a single cohesive plan. And that's exactly why the industry is moving away from cloud-first thinking. Because strategy without business alignment creates accumulation, not transformation. Cloud smart means designing intentionally around business outcomes, cost discipline, governance, compliance needs, and team capabilities, not vendor hype. So public cloud, private cloud, and multi-cloud are the three models. Yes, there's other cloud types, but they're all variations of these three structures. So look, the smartest CIOs aren't chasing trends. They're building technology strategies around what truly moves the needle for the business. Your goal shouldn't be to pick the trendiest option. Your goal should be to choose the model that, number one, aligns with business outcomes, 2, scales without chaos, 3, stays secure without paralysis, and 4, keeps IT focused on enabling growth. Cloud becomes a competitive advantage only when it's designed intentionally, not adopted accidentally.
I meant to do that.
So on a more serious note, most companies don't have the time or internal expertise to objectively evaluate all of this across vendors, contracts, architectures, and compliance requirements. And that's okay. You shouldn't have to become a cloud economist to run your business. If you need help cutting through the noise and building cloud smart strategies that actually fit your organization, that's what we do here at VocalPoint Consulting. We're vendor agnostic, we focus on business outcomes first, and we help you find the best solution, not the loudest sales pitch. You'll find our info in the description below. And if this video helped you today, do us a favor, hit subscribe, give it a like, and drop a comment with what cloud questions you're wrestling with next. Thanks for watching Cloud Sherpa. I'm Derek Roush, Luke 923.